What's poppin' T Squad? It's me, Keisha, aka Color Me Pynk, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade, and just like that, Season 2, Episode 1 review. I drop videos Monday through Sunday. Everything that I say is for entertainment purposes only, not to be taken seriously or literally, meaning my jokes and Jones. So if that works for you, let's get into this video. So in the season premiere episode, I'm going to break down each lady's storylines. So first we're going to start off with Miranda. Let me just start off saying I did not need to see that lady naked. I don't think none of us needed to see that. It was just this pasty white woman, Lord Jesus, just looked like a can of Crisco. Like absolutely, no, don't need to see it. Love Miranda, but don't need to see that lady naked. Che is in LA working on her new television show that she has coming out, and Miranda is just there pretty much being the girlfriend, being the trophy wife. And Shay is kind of being funny towards her. When she tries to be affectionate, she's telling her don't touch her. And Miranda can't figure out what's going on. After she overhears a conversation that Che and Carrie have about relationships, she starts to think that her and Che's connection is only physical as far as sexual or whatever. So she tries to pull back and do like regular relationship stuff with her. But Che is always busy working, and Miranda literally is just sitting at home twiddling her thumbs, waiting on Che to come home and pay her some attention. And I just do not like Miranda's storyline, because based off last season, her storyline to me was just so unrealistic. Like after everything y'all did in the Sex and the City movie between her and Steve, to then do the show and have her being unhappy in her marriage, that's fine if they were both just stale and bored or whatever. But now she's basically just playing Cynthia Nixon. Like Miranda has transformed into Cynthia Nixon. And I don't like that. I really honestly don't, because I don't feel like it was necessary for the character. And Miranda would never just be sitting around not working, not doing nothing, waiting on some chick. Like the Miranda we've grown to know throughout all of these years will still be out here getting to the bag, making sure she good, this, that, and the third. We never got to see any fallout from the fact that she had an affair. We saw all of that when Steve had his affair and how she left him alone and wouldn't forgive him. But she has an affair, and it's just like, okay, I don't want to be with you no more. I'm a lesbian now. And Steve doesn't get mad. He doesn't do anything. Like, we don't even get to see homeboy. I don't even know if he's going to be in this season. I just think that her storyline is just all over the place, and I don't like it. We also find out that the reason why Che does not want her to touch her is because she was told to go into a diet because her stomach was hanging over her pants. And she kind of breaks down, and we don't really see Che being vulnerable, and Miranda is just like, you're the most beautiful woman I know, like forget what they talking about, and she's able to cheer Che up. But this is the storyline that I at least am infatuated with. Like, I could really care less about this storyline. I need for them to make some changes. I need for her to be bisexual or something. I think that after watching episode 2 that they're going to steer her in a different direction, and I need for that to happen ASAP, because I'm not liking new Miranda. Then we go to Lisa, one of my new faves, who's played by Nicole R.E. Parker. And all the ladies in the beginning of the episode is boinking their husband. Everybody getting ready to get their back blown out that night. And her and Herbert, getting it on. She riding that donkey, you know what I'm saying? We see Lisa being a super mom. Like, she is a documentarian. She's just a socialite, fashionista, a mother of 3, a wife, and she's just all over the place. She's working on this new documentary, trying to edit it and everything, and she's just overwhelmed and trying to do everything. And her husband, Herbert, is like, stop working yourself so hard. The $25,000 that you need to come up with for this documentary, just ask me, I'll give it to you. And she looked at him like, who you talking to? Like, I don't need your money. This is my thing. Let me do it. Like, I don't need to, do my thing according to you and your finances. Like, simmer down, love. Simmer down. Herbert is coming across to me like he wants her to just be more catering and doting towards him. And not to say that she isn't, but I feel like he wants her to dote on him even more. And it's just like, calm down. It's almost like he takes her career not as seriously as he does his own. Like, it's just like her little side project that she does, and she's accomplished at it, but he doesn't really take it seriously. That's what I get from it. Everybody in this episode is preparing also to go to the Met Ball except for Miranda, because she's in LA. So she's preparing to go to the Met, and the day that they're going, she is so busy that she forgot to order their car. So they end up having to walk to the Met. And Nicole's outfit was so freaking fly. Now, I've had photos of her in this outfit since they started filming, and I couldn't wait to see it on camera. And it looked stunning. She looked absolutely beautiful. That shot of them walking across that street and the train, the cape of her dress just billowing in the air. Oh! Like, she need to get that framed and put in her house. It was magnificent. Yes. Loving Lisa and her storyline. Loving that she's getting more camera time this season. Then we go to also the newcomer, Sema, who is once again getting her salad tossed by Zed, her little boo thing. Sema is, like I said, still dating Zed, and he asked her to meet his son and his ex-wife, but the day he asked her to meet them is the same day of the Met. So she ends up pulling out of the Met to go and meet his son and ex-wife. And when she does so, everything is going good until she's left at the table with the wife, and she asked the wife, when was the last time you seen Zed? And she was like, this morning. And she was like, what you mean this morning? She was like, over breakfast, we still live with each other. How you got me meeting your son and your wife and you failed to tell me that you still living in the same house as this broad? So she immediately gets up and grabs her things and chucks him up the deuce. And he run outside like, where you going? And she was like, to the Met. Like, I was actually about to give up the Met to deal with you and your foolishness when you couldn't even be bothered enough to tell me you still live with your wife. And he was like, I live on the first floor, she live on the second floor, we barely cross paths. She was like, so it's regardless. She was like, you are a red flag, I ain't got time, sayonara. So she ends up going to the Met. She had on a really cute, like, Mother Teresa outfit. She looked cute nonetheless, but at this point she just like, I ain't got time to be dealing with nobody half telling me what's the deal. Then, and I didn't blame her. I felt like that was the right choice to make. I really honestly did. Then we go to Carrie, who is getting her back cracked by Franklin, who is the producer on her podcast. And they got this little thing going where they've been messing around on Thursdays. You know, that's when, you know, they go and do their little thing, you know, spend the night with each other, laugh, talk, eat, whatever. And he asked her to kick it with him on a Tuesday. And she says, yeah, but you can tell like she was hesitant to do so because her husband did just die. You know what I'm saying? And she don't want the pressures of a relationship or even a situationship. Like, what they doing right now is just enough for her. It's, you my friend, we enjoy each other's company, the sex is great, but that's all I'm willing to give. And so she ends up telling him that on the day of the Met, like, I don't want to meet your friends. Like, what we're doing right now is all I can give you. And he seems like he understands at that point or whatever. Now, as far as Carrie's Met outfit, her coworker, Jackie's girlfriend, was the one making her dress for the Met. And the girl seamstress ended up getting sick, so she ended up having to finish the dress the same day of the Met, but it was just a disaster. It did not come out right. The only thing she had finished was the cape, and so it was just a mess. And I hate that the black girl had to be the one to mess up everything. But of course Carrie was upset because she like, what am I gonna do? And the girl was like, you know, you got to have something in there that you can wear with my cape. And then that's when she thinks about her wedding dress that she was, you know, wore in the Sex and the City movie. She pulls it out and it is the perfect dress for the cape. And she looked absolutely stunning. That dress will forever be iconic. And she looked just as good in it today as she did back then. And it was just a great throwback moment. And it was even more refreshing seeing her happy because she was like, she got to redo a bad memory, you know, and make it a good one. So she actually ended up getting to have a great use out of a dress that caused her so much pain in the past. So I love that full circle moment. Then lastly in this episode, we have Naya the professor. Like I said, everybody, including Charlotte, was getting their back cracked except for her because her husband is out on the road because he's a musician. So they're also separated right now because she don't want to have no baby. She's finally was able to tell him she didn't want to have a baby, but he still wants to have a child. And they're basically at a crossroads. So she's lonely and complaining to Miranda about, being lonely and not having nobody to kick it with and everything. So she takes Miranda's advice and tries going out alone again. So we see her at this bar, dressed to the nines, looking stunning, and fine as Gary Dordan. I forgot his character's name on the show, but his fine self ends up seeing her at the bar and chopping it up with her. And he tries to sit next to her and everything, but she was like, I'm married. And he was like, oh, okay, no disrespect, whatever. Have a good night. But you could tell she was like totally enamored with him. And I was like, girl, fuck your husband. Fuck that nigga. You don't turn down Gary Dordan fine self. Woo, baby. I would have forgot all about Andre. Because first of all, Andre looked like he stars in Rent. He looked like he a tambourine player. Baby, ain't no way in hell I would have got rid of that man, honey. So she all hot and bothered after seeing, Gary Dordan's character. So we then see her at home in her sexy lingerie. She sauced up. She FaceTime her husband. No, she calling him and he not answering the phone. And so she like, okay. So she called him again and he answered and she was like, get on FaceTime. So he FaceTime her. He's like, what's up? And she was like, I'm feeling kind of saucy. I got on your favorite outfit. Come look at this punani. And he like, whoa, don't do that. I'm not in the room by myself. And she said, well, who in the room with you? And he panned the camera over to this chick that he's supposedly in the room writing songs with. And she like at 9 o'clock at night. And he was like, ain't nothing going on but the rent. She was like, you got me messed all the way up. If you think that I think that that's okay for you to be in your hotel room with another woman, you got me messed up. And she ended up hanging up on him. And I loved when she laid back on them pillows. She was like, around and find out, baby, that was not in the script. You cannot tell me that wasn't ad-libbed, honey. So that was pretty much everything that happened in the first episode, and it sets up a lot of the storylines going into this season. I want justice for Naya. I need for her and Gary Dordan's character to link back up because he gonna crack that back in multiple places. She gonna need to have back surgery, honey, by the time he get done with her. All right. I'm loving so far this season because it seems like we're getting the essence of the original Sex and the City back. I'm loving the diversity in the cast. A lot of people were still complaining that the show is not solely based around Carrie, but I like that we're seeing other women, their plights, their storylines, them dealing with family issues, friendships, working, all of that stuff. I'm loving the direction in which the new show is going. I'm liking it. I liked season 1, but I'm loving season 2 so far. So overall, I'm going to give the season premiere episode of And Just Like That an A. I really, truly enjoyed it a lot. I'm going to give it an A-. The Miranda storyline, no. And that y'all made us see that lady, once or twice naked? Like, no. Miranda was up there looking like a spoiled piece of chicken breast. Uncooked at that. No. Keep your clothes on. Sarah keeping her clothes on. Kristen keeping her clothes on. Nicole keeping her clothes on. The lady that plays Sema keeping her clothes on. You ain't got to be the only one that's just like, I am woman, hear me roar. We don't need that in our life, lady. Put your clothes back on. Absolutely not. Other than that, I enjoyed the episode. Let me know down below in the comment section if you want me to continue on with these video reviews. Hopefully the views are like that. Y'all are watching. Y'all are tuning in for my take on And Just Like That. And we can keep this thing rocking and rolling. I love you guys. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell button. And I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.